Hello, this is Bazrai, an autistic virtual YouTuber from Malaysia. So my condition is pretty much going well now. So today, this is a guerrilla stream where I will teach you how to create and load and share custom levels. Now let's, without ado, but before that, if you want to try this game out for yourselves, download link is in the description. So before I continue, I need to remind you that if you want to make custom levels, you need to clear the game's story mode. The last level would be in level 4-6. So after you clear that level, then you can access the edit mode. Also, by the way, I am currently requesting custom level submissions, so I'm going to put up a link. Whoops. Okay. So the link should be up if you have refreshed the page. So so far I will not set a time limit for the question submissions, because if I got enough, maybe I will do 2 or even 3 streams for just solving custom levels from other submitters. By the way, you don't have to be a VTuber to submit one. I have already get one from just a regular person from Twitter. So without ado, let's start the process. So when you clear the game, after the edit mode message prompt you have quit the message prompt, this level will show up. The unnamed level will show up. Let's click into it. So this will be a fully blank stage. So your question will be at your right side. So you have 3 input, and then clicking in it will show you how to type in the letters. And keep in mind that please turn on caps lock before you start, because if you type in small letters, there will be errors and you will be forced to restart the game. So keep that in mind. So P is prima materia, and then the elements are: fire is I, wind is E, water is Q, earth is T. So the metals will be: iron is F, copper is C, lead is B, tin is S, mercury is H, silver is G, gold is U. That's one thing. And another thing to keep in mind, that when you type in the sequence, so let's say I put in EU. Whoops. EU. The input would be displayed as UE. So the last one will appear first. And then let's say EUT. So T will appear first. So that's one thing. The other thing is, let's say you want to link them. So let's say E-T, that would be T link with E. So remember, you need to read the input backwards from what you have typed. And now let's say you have different inputs. There are two. You want to scramble them. So there are two types of scrambling. One is random selection. The other one is random sequence. So as an example, I'm going with iron and copper. So F, C. Keep in mind that different items, whoops, okay, let's say this means random selection between iron and copper. So if there are three parts in the same input, then it should be, let's say, tin, then you just put in S. So the more items you put in random selection formula, then the chances are the alchemic process will consume more time to finish. Keep this in mind. For that part in action, you can refer to my half of my collaboration with Arthur Fusuka, which he sent me exactly that kind of question. So now, let's say you want to do a random sequence. So taking again iron, copper and tin. So the sequence would be something like this. So every 3 units, so since there are 3 units in the formula, so every 3 input that gets into the set will be always one unit of gold, 1 unit of copper and 1 unit of tin. It's just the order between them are random. So now I'm going to, so you can put in up to 3 outputs, and here's this is the stack. So stack is something that normally you put in to perform checks, where maybe either check from a random input or a scrambled input. Then the rules are the same, but keep this in mind that I do not recommend using the scrambling stuff here because it's going to mess up your question. So now the last one is your target output. The rules are the same, and again, and for this you should absolutely not using the random selection and sequence because your output is supposed to be fixed. So now I'm going to do one sample. So maybe, yeah, by the way, there's one additional note. Man, I really forgot about this. Pressing space will give different output. We'll split the input. Let's say something like this. Whoops. Okay. So if I make some changes, something like this, oh, so it doesn't make any difference. Normally I would make space between them for better visibility, but it seems that if you want to save space, by the way, the space limit for versions before 1.6 would be 20. but in versions 1.6 and above, the limit has been increased to 100. This is actually due to my feedback towards RTT back then over Twitter. So I'm going to do this, and then I won't put any stack. So the output, I would, let's say I mess with things a bit. Yep. Okay. Yep, this is no. This is the proper format, so link unit with link unit link. Okay, so now you can, in the unnamed section, when you click on it, you can change. So this would be point swap to. Apparently the letter case issue has been fixed. So if your question is ready, you can export it. You choose right click and then select the fourth option, which means send out the question. So for simplicity and ease of reference, I suggest that the question, you put the question name the same as your file name. Okay, so now let's try solve this problem. So now I need to so I need to split the tin out first, link them, and then send the tin. Yep, the tin has to set in front before the output because the output sequencing will be swapped within the stack. So what I need to do is to break swap. So let's check. Okay. So and then link break swap. Okay, now let's check the steps. Okay, so break swap link. So now, so with this I can set the first output and then link it, make a swap, and then send the output. Now let's arrange it so that it looks much nicer. Now, okay, so yep. Now let's test the process first. Oops, swap. Yep. So this is definitely the case. And as the usual, you need to get 6 outputs to clear the level. So let's say you want to save this answer for future reference. Right click and then click on the second option, which is board output. So again, for ease of reference, I really recommend you put the same file name with the question name. So now, let's say you want to clear all of them. You can go for right click and then press the first option. Then they will ask for confirmation. Left is high, means yes. Right is yet, means no. So I'm gonna clear this. So now let's say never mind. So let's say you want to load a blank question, so let's say you want to see again the answer which I have served just now. So I'll just right click and then choose the third option, and then the board will ask for confirmation to override it. Again, left is high, means yes. Right is yeah, means no. So make sure, so you just type back the question, the file name. Yep, here we go. So now let's say you want to load up another blank question. So right click, select the fifth option, and then again the game will ask for confirmation whether you want to override it. Left is, so now select high, and then by default blank question has no file name. You just simply press enter at this state. Yep, that's it. The same applies when you load a blank board. Also, leave the input as it is and press enter. Okay, so that's pretty much the basics for making and loading the custom levels. So now you might wonder how I can share these levels like to a few VTubers that I had collaboration with. There are two collaborations, one with Shanko Senpai and another one with Ato Fusuka. I suggest that you watch them to see how the process goes. Oh, I didn't know it. Oh, RTT, thank you for coming. So, how should I put it? Where I was? Never mind. Let's continue. So, I'm going to show you where the actual file for the... Yep. So, this is the game folder. So, this is the game folder. So, double click into user data. So keep in mind that these two files comes with the zip file that when you download the game, do not delete them. It will make your custom level making and loading much easier. So in a sense, by the way, the one collaboration with Shanko Senpai is unofficial because we don't declare it as such. It's just that in my opinion it's an unofficial collaboration in the sense that we are working on something together. So of course I don't know how she thinks about this, and I don't want to speculate, but in my opinion her attempt to solve my question is considered a form of collaboration, even though it's kind of one-sided kind of thing. So that clarification aside, so these are the files, and if you want to share them, you just copy these files into maybe a folder that you want to upload, and then you just upload it to maybe Google Drive or OneDrive or any file sharing service, and you just let them download it. Blank files, that's a nice idea. I mean, well, I just point out what you have did, so I have no idea. I don't know what you mean by that. So anyway, let's get back to the game. So I'm going to showcase something. Well, first of all, you know, if you notice the Shanko's attempt, there's actually one question that she didn't solve due to time constraints. I'm going to show it here. So load the question. So scramble synthesis 5, and then there's, so I'm going to load the board. Yep, so this is it. Let's do a run. So okay, now yep, so this is actually, I guess, whatever I actually pointed out in Twitter, that the questions that exist in story mode, they don't really prepare the players how to deal with the custom levels. And I would say that this is actually toned down, because I learned my lesson with what happened when Ato Fusuka tries to solve my questions. And to be honest, I want to apologize to him once more, because I overestimated his question solving ability. And for the questions that I have sent for Shanko Senpai, I actually have toned it down, in the sense that the costs are a lot lower than the cost for the questions that I have sent to Ato Fusuka, but it seems that I'm still overdid it. Anyway, so and in fact, the questions that I have sent to both of those are not the hardest that I can come up. If you have noticed my Twitter, you would know that there's one line of question which is much harder. The line of questions is impure W synthesis. And by the way, here's some random tidbit. W in Japanese language is pretty much a letter which is used to mean double. So that's why I name it that way, because the version that I used to create the questions have a hard limit of 20 letters. So I had to shorten double into W. So before I proceed with that question, there's one more question that Shanko loads, but I actually have sent the solution to her, and made her know over a text file that she can use the solution to understand the principles behind the how to solve the questions, but she didn't do it. Maybe because again, I don't want to speculate. The thing is over, and I actually had asked her to send me questions, but so far I haven't received any response from her yet. I actually don't want to DM her the link because that will be a form of disturbance. So, yep. Scramble synthesis 0. And this is pretty much the hardest question on this particular line of questions so far. And again, the cost is still 200 plus. So I'm going to run the process. Okay. Oops. Okay. Now just perform a check on. So basically you check one unit against the input, then if it is the either you can know what to do next based on whether the check has passed or not. So now let's go for the infamous, well, not exactly infamous in that I haven't published the question yet, so I'm going to showcase just one, because after this I will go for a few demonstrations for a few additional lines of questions that I have made. So let's load it. So I'm going straight for the hardest. So impure W synthesis 5. And you have to remove 2 impurities from 2 different outputs, which thankfully is distinctly labeled, and then you have to combine them. Now let's load the board. Impure W synthesis 5. Yep, 1,540 gold. The solution is so large that it doesn't fit into a single screen. So yep. Okay, now it goes to the upper part. Now, so the impurity has been removed. Now onto the second part. Checking for impurities doesn't work. So okay, now removing the impurities. Then now go straight for the forging process. Oops. Now let's go, and then send it as output, and you notice that the stack has been reversed. So now going back to the, yep, it's definitely huge, and I would say that for future custom levels it might be even larger. Oh, I didn't swap that thing, thank goodness. Otherwise, man, what happened with me today? So now get into the pro. So now onto the third output. Okay, check. Oops. Yep. Go. And then oops. Okay. Now output swap. Yep. Okay. Now oops. Okay. Now whoop. Okay. Now yep. Now yep, speed up. Okay. Whoa. Okay, now on to the next part. Now reversing back to the starting point. So the last output should yep. Okay. Now yep, by the way, the check for the final output would happen the moment that the output matches the target, not when the output is being reset. So that would save quite some time. Okay, so now let's clear the glyphs and then load the blank question. Okay. So I'm going to try out some concepts, a few of which I will not go for point sort again, that has been demonstrated earlier. So I'm going to 6 chain shuffle. So and I would prefer not to include lead and mercury in the question, because in real life these are poisonous stuff. Gotta keep things maybe a little bit more realistic. So maybe I'll add some lore. So the alchemist client had a problem where the beads that he bought for his niece had the bead order scrambled, in a sense that his niece doesn't like the pattern on the beads, so he bring one and then asks the alchemist to rearrange it to the pattern that his niece likes. So yeah, that's some story background for this question. So I'm going to set in the output first. So okay. Okay, so to prevent any shenanigans, I will disable these two. So the output, so I'm going to do it a bit randomly, so maybe something like so okay. By the way, keep this in mind that this is the maximum number of input that you can enter without making the question invisible. Keep this very in mind. And for the question submission, I'm going to update it because I'm going to post the link to this stream to the Google form, and I will also add a clause that any of the inputs must have a maximum length of 6. If it is more than 6, then the question would be excluded. So keep this in mind. Okay, so now let's go. So I'm going for this hex rearrangement 1. Okay. So now the key to solving this type of question is to make sure that the placements of the individual units that you have put in follows the sequence of the output, link them up, and then send as output. So let's do this. Okay, so now you definitely need to break, swap. Okay, so one thing that you need to make sure that this is at the last of the stack, so you need to do multiple link break swaps. So I think I'm going to check after 3 of them is done, by the way. Okay, so link break. So I'm going to do this first. Whoops. Link break swap. So now check first. So link break swap. So now the very first is done, and then you got another problem. You cannot break it. You have to send it back to the stack without the link, and it's a big hassle. So I need 4 of those links. So first break swap, and then 3 more link break swaps. So I'm gonna put those. Whoops, wrong direction. Okay, so now link break swap, link break swap. So now let's go. Okay, no. So now, okay, so break swap, link break swap, link break swap, link break swap. So the last one. Okay, now the second. So the second queue, has been completed. So now I have to perform a break swap, link break swap, link break. I really like this kind of trick though. It's kind of cool when you think deeper about it, but for a lot of gamers, they might be frustrated. Okay, so now, whoops, looks like we got a decent shortcut now, considering that the order is definitely coincidental. maybe not exactly coincidentally. So I can just link them now. So 3 links and 1 output, done. So let's finish it. 3 links, 1 output, send back to the starting point. Let's go. Oops. Now, yep, nice. Okay, let's go. Oops, nice. Oops. Okay, now has 3 output and the speed of the process has been increased, which is a good thing. Okay, and I really enjoy the sound effects. Definitely something very pleasant. Woo. Nice. So that's one of the concepts that I have thought for making custom levels. So now maybe let's try something even extreme regarding. So whoops, never mind. I'll just save the question and then redo the board off stream. Okay. So now let's load a blank question. Okay. So how about we try impure trisynthesis? It's going to be a little bit spicier, so okay. So yep, the second one would be so random. Okay. Oops, not this. Okay. And then the last one would be -t. So now the stack check something like B H T. Okay. So now the target would be -c. So S C. Yep. So rename this as impure trisynthesis. Okay. So now for the first output, make a swap and then run one check. So it is, if it is right, I can just remove it and break it. So I need to maybe not break it though, but I need to link it first because I need to send that thing to the back of the pack. So now double link brick swap, double link, yep, break and then swap. So now if it is not, okay, so let me check what I need to make sure that, okay, I see now. So I need to make sure that the stack for the upper path and the lower path is the same. So it will be lead and copper. Oops. So then now, okay, now break, swap first. Yep, nice. Now I can just link, triple link, break swap. Maybe I can merge the process together. Triple link, break swap. So whoops, out of bounds. Now, okay, yep, this should be it. So now, okay, swap. Okay, so now I need to send the copper unit back as well. So break, swap. Okay. Now I have to break that thing again before send out the second output. So again, so check, and then the process should be exactly the same. Oops. Okay. Now break, swap, and then now again this, go up. So let's check how the process goes. Wait, something's Wrong. I see. I need to. I forgot the swap glyph. Yep. Okay, so now on to the next step. And I need to send this unit, these two units back. So, and then leaving this at the front. So double link, break, swap. So double link, break, swap. Okay. Now and then break, swap. And then 3 swap, check. As far as I know, there is a distance limit for it, so after this I need to go back. Yep. Now let's see. Okay, so this and then this, but this time it's going to be different. So now, okay, this and then go down here. Okay. Oops. Now you have a problem. How I'm going to make so I can ignore this. So I need to send this and this to the back first. So now what should I be doing? So I need to send this unit first. So quad link first. Quad link first. Thank goodness I chose to. Whoops, and then break, swap, link, break, swap. Okay, let's go. Whoops. Okay. Now there's no need for that already, so it should be break, swap, break, swap, link, break, swap. Seems like an email. That sort. Why would I receive? Oh, that one. I don't need that anymore. Okay, so now link, break, swap. So link, break, swap. So just to confirm, the how the output should go. Okay. Now break swap. So break swap, break swap, break swap, link, break swap, break swap, link, swap, link, output. Okay, now on to the next part. So I really don't recommend going for these kind of questions unless you have a lot of time to spare, and this is where the problem comes. Your stack order is reversed. So now your correct order is this. So I have to send Earth back first. And this is being mentioned in the tutorial, so keep this very clear in mind. So I have to do 2 link break swaps. Link break swap. Man, this is very time consuming. Swap. Nope. 2 double link break swap. And unless you really understand how the game logic works, don't do this, okay? So link break swap break. So go up, link break swap break. I'm going to run the process directly. Something's not right with the... okay. There's some interruptions in the connection. Sorry about that. Whoops. Okay. So far so good, I would say. Now just a matter of time. Yep. So now move. Okay, set that. Nice. Rearrangement. Okay. Whoops. Now let's go. Okay. The 4th output. Let's see if what I think about the output check is true. Okay. Whoops. Now. Okay. Yep. That's right. It will check for both the output and the stack for completion, so be very well aware of that. So for the final question, concept, wait, export them properly. Impure try synthesis 1. So question also impure try synthesis 2. Nope. It should be impure try synthesis 1. Yep, I'm going to override it. So let's clear all the glyphs. Never mind. I'll just load a blank board and then load a blank question. So the last one, maybe not quite. Should I go for, what should I be doing though? Not point swap. What should I do? Yep. So now what I'm going to do is something like this. Elemental purification 1. So what I'm going to do is this. So the output would be something like this. So now you need to break this. Maybe I try to no, the question is wrong. I should be going for this first. Okay, this, and then the target would be yep. So what I need to do first to break them, and then send in this. Okay, so now this, and then this. Okay, so now you need to swap and then perform and this procedure 2 more times. By the way, I have disabled the element combination function. So link output. Okay. So just run the process, and this is actually a lot more simpler. So maybe for the, if I'm going to have a new collaboration, maybe I have to go for something like this. But I don't see this as purification though. I think it's better to call it transmutation. It's a much better, yep, a much better question. So that's it for today's stream, at least for this part. The idea how to make custom levels, load custom levels, and export custom levels and share custom levels. I also have demonstrated some of the questions concepts that I have come up. So this part is finished, so I would like to use this opportunity to announce something significant. So okay, so due to upcoming heavy work, I anticipate heavy workload for the next Monday to next Friday. I'm going to take further breaks, and then depending how well I would be, I might stream Predation 2 on next Saturday, but I cannot confirm. I can't make promises at this point. So that's first thing. The other thing is that I will reduce number of days which I stream, but for the days that I will be streaming, there might be 2 streams or 1 streams depending on the length of the game that I will stream. So this is how I'm going to post the schedule this upcoming Saturday. So I would like to apologize to Q, the creator of Predation 2, for delaying the stream. And by the way, the custom level cut-off time for that is 9 PM of 19th June 2021 UTC +8. So any responses and any custom levels that is submitted after that time period would be in the next part of custom levels. So on weekends, I also might go for 2 streams per day, and I will return to streaming FPS. So the next one would be, and currently I'm planning for 26. So by the way, keep in mind that no more community or stage levels. I'll just go for casual in whatever map group. So if you want to join me, it will be participatory, but keep in mind that it's just casual, and I prefer if you have Prime to join, because as far as I know, you cannot, Prime players can't play with non-Prime players outside of Wingman and matchmaking. So that's something that I have to be really careful about. So that's it for today's stream. Hopefully with this I will get more questions for the next Sunday's stream. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. フリーゲームを楽しい。バイ。